Hi and welcome back to my channel. How are you doing? How is your day going? I've got a word for you today, but first let me take this opportunity to thank you all for liking, sharing and subscribing as we spread the good news of God together. Glory be to God. So I've got a word for you today, my viewers, my subscribers, my friend, just about anyone that this video will reach. I want to remind you today that the Lord is your refuge. He is your hiding place. And in the book of Psalms 91 and verse 2, let me read it for you. It says that I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress. My God, in Him will I trust. Now, I understand that these days there's so many things that we can put our trust in. There are so many options. There's so many things that we can choose from. So some people will choose to put their trust in their kids, some people in their partners, some people even in their jobs. But the ultimate place to put your trust is in God. You know why? Because He never fails. He never fails. The Bible says that the arms of flesh will always fail, but God will never fail you. You know, you might be doing your job, you might be in a steady job, getting your paycheck, no worries, no trouble, no problems at work, nothing. But some things can just happen suddenly and the whole dynamic just changed, and it wasn't something that was planned for or something that was foreseen. It wasn't anything that was expected, and suddenly that rock, that refuge, that hiding place that you have trust in has just started to crumble. And what do you do? What do you do? Oftentimes, people will get up and try to go again, look for another job. But, what about the instances where you can't get up? You have things like sicknesses, and, a big example that we can use is the pandemic that we recently have. I mean, no one really knew all that would have taken place and how people's lives would have changed. So many people, their source like just instantly collapse, and it causes a lot of negative effect on people's lives. So it goes back to what I'm saying. When your refuge is God and He is your hiding place, He never fails. He'll make a way, even in the storm. You remember the story in the Bible when the disciples were there on the boat and the winds were becoming so boisterous, and they were becoming afraid. And they were wondering, like, what are we gonna do? And one of them actually said that, like, Jesus, don't you care if we die? And all He said to the storm was, peace, be still. And the winds just stopped raging, and all the boisterous waves, they just stopped. So that is how God is, and that is how we should allow Him to be in our lives. Allow Him to be the place that we run to, our hiding place, because we can't run to our bank accounts, because some way, somewhat, it'll fail at some point. We do need it, don't get me wrong, but it can't be our ultimate source. It can't be just our husbands or wives or just our children, because they too at some point will fail us. Or, as I've mentioned before about the pandemic, we were all in it together. Imagine you're turning to that person and the other person is thinking to turn to you. But you can always turn to God. You can always pray. He always brings comfort to your heart. He always brings peace and joy. He always, work it out. He always make a way, even when there seemed to be no way. And sometimes it feels like all hope is lost. Sometimes you might feel like, well, I've exhausted all options. There can't be any other way. Like some people just say, I'm doomed, I'm done here. But that's when God is ready to pick you up. That's when He is ready to turn things around for you. So if you haven't tried it, try God. Try God in every situation, in every circumstances. It doesn't matter what age you are. It doesn't matter what gender. You could be male, you could be female. It does not matter, because He loves us and He chooses us and He is always there. He's always available. You can always call on Him. He is never, ever busy. So choose Him to be your refuge. Choose Him to be your hiding place, because He's not a man that He can lie. That's what He said in His words. And He's always there. Always, whenever time you call upon Him. It might not be on our timing, but He's an on-time God. He didn't show up the same day that Lazarus was dead. But when He showed up 4 days later, He could have called him from the grave. He could have said to him, come forth, He could have allowed him to remove those grave clothes and walk into newness. And that's the God that we serve. So today, make Him your refuge. Make Him your hiding place. He's not gonna fail you. I've tried it and it worked. I've tried it so many times when I thought to myself that, you know what, there's no way out. I can't do this. But then there He is, and He sends a solution, or He sends, somebody to speak a word into my spirit, or He comes Himself and just give you that peace that the world just doesn't understand. Try Him. Try Him. Tried and proven. So make the Lord your refuge. He is a good God. Give it a try. I thank you all for watching my videos. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing.